Hello students, welcome to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. I'm Syed Akbar and I'm going to talk about medical terminology today. We are going to go through Unit 10 for roots, about their colors, positions and terms in medicine. Why is medical terminology important for us? Medical terminology is a language of medicine. It is a way of describing the human body and its components, the processes, conditions and the procedures. It is based on the terminology from the Greek and Latin root. It is uniform throughout the world. Medical terminology is vast and mastering it can be like learning an entire foreign language for us. So as healthcare students and management students, we need to learn the medical terminology. The words, terms, abbreviations and symbols which make up the language of medicine are referred to as medical terminology. Like every other language, medical terminology has evolved over time and will continue to do so in the near future. The medical terminology is a way to create a common language for the medical professionals to communicate more easily with each other. The language helps medical staff communicate more effectively and in breaking down language barriers globally in the healthcare industry. It makes the documentation more easier. It improves the patient care and patient safety in the healthcare settings worldwide. Now, why medical terminology is very important these days? It is essential for everyone who works in the environment where a basic understanding of medical terms is required. Being able to decipher and pronounce these terms is necessary to understand what is happening with the patient. Along with some popular healthcare professionals such as doctors, nurses, radiologists and pharmacists, the knowledge of medical terminology is required for healthcare assistants, medical transcriptionists, medical record clerks and medical coders and billers as well, so as to process the health claims and other proceedings in the operations of hospital field. Medications, procedures, treatments and medical conditions are often described as medical terms. Healthcare professionals need to understand the medical terms so that they can convey accurate information to the patients as well. Without the medical terminologies, the doctors, nurses and other healthcare professionals would be at risk of misdiagnosing or prescribing the wrong medication or making mistakes during the medical procedures. Now, what are the medical terminologies? It consists of the basic word parts. The first part is the word root, which is the meaning of the term and is the fundamental unit of every medical term. Then comes the prefix at the beginning. They are added at the beginning of the medical term that alters the meanings of the root. Then comes the suffix that are added at the end of the word root that changes the meaning again. The last again is along with the roots, that is the combining vowels or the forms are used to connect the word parts and make the pronunciation easier in medical terminology. In most cases, combining forms of vowels are an O, but sometimes they are I and E as well. Now, how do you understand medical terminology? So, step 1 is to define the medical terms and divide and slash them into the component parts. These components again are of three things: the prefix, the suffix and the word root or the combining forms. The second part is combining the vowel O when a suffix begins with a consonant. Examples you can take as terminology. The O in between becomes a combining vowel. Now, using the combining vowel O when combining two or more roots only if the second root begins with a consonant. Examples can be pneumothorax. The O in between is between the two word roots. Do not use the combining vowels O if you are combining a second root that begins with a vowel or a suffix that begins with the vowel A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes examples are pneumonoarthrosis. You can use a Y sometimes. Now, add Y to the word to indicate a procedure. Examples are gastroscopy, or an LY to indicate an act or process, that is a splenomegaly or other examples of a procedure. Step 3 is a suffix like oasis will be added denoting a condition usually which is an abnormality in the body of the human. When combined with a color for red, it is used as erythropoiesis, and then the color white, it is leukopoiesis. It represents a condition of abnormally increase in the blood cells. Most of the time, word components denoting the color are used as prefixes, and sometimes the root is the medical term. Now, a basic example when you take for a word root example, let's take cardiology, which is the word root. It is the study of the heart. The prefix here can be, for an example, tachycardia, that is a condition of the heart, that it beats fast. Suffix could be carditis, it is the inflammation of the heart, and the combining form or the vowel can be cardiomyopathy, that is the disease of the heart muscle. Now, word root. What is word root? We are concentrating on word root in this particular section. It is the main body of the word that helps the fundamental meaning to that particular word. The word root will usually but not always refer to body systems, organs, anatomy, diagnosis, medical procedures. Examples can be transesophageal or echocardiogram. A medical term can have more than one root with a combining vowel such as I, E, O, or may be combined with another root word as prefix or suffix describing a particular structure or condition in a person's body. Examples of these kind of words can be esophagogastroduodenoscopy. The suffix here is the scopy and the combining vowel is the O in between the three root words. Now, coming back to the roots of bodily concepts. Now, the bodily concepts here can be examples like digestion, disease, or eating, and it is derived from Greek root words like pepsia, pethi, or phagia. Now, pepsia is for digestion. The pepsin is the digestive enzyme that breaks down proteins into stomach, in the stomach. Indigestion or discomfort in the stomach is dyspepsia. Then eupepsia is a normal and healthy digestion, which is seen in the human body. Now, coming to disease factor, where the study of the diseases and the causes and effects is called as pathology. A person with a personality disorder often lacking empathy or reports is called as psychopath. Again, the pathy there is used for describing the kind of character of a person. The system of alternative medicine using minute doses of natural substances is called as homeopathy, for example. Now, coming to the roots of body parts and substances, it is usually used to describe the internal anatomy, external anatomy, body fluids, and substances. The body part examples you can take as abdomen, where it is derived from the Greek word lapar or the Latin word abdomen. The aorta is derived from the Greek word iot. The bronchi is used for arm. Hemat or heme is used for blood, and then angi is used for blood vessels. Osteo is used for bone, and encephalo is for brain. You can see in the video that the different parts of a human body are described with the different Greek and Latin origin words to describe the part of the body for better understanding for medical professions. The medical roots are derived from various particular regions of the human body. For example, arterio is for artery, bronchi is for arm, bronch is for bronchioles, carcinoma is for cancer, cardio again represents the heart, colo is for colon, cyto is for the cells, derma is for the skin, encephalo again for the brain. The gastro part is used for stomach, intestino is for intestine, the myo part is for the muscle, neuro is for the nerve, oculo or ophthalmo is for the eye, otto is for ear, pulmo again for lungs, thoraco is for chest or thorax, and thyro is for thyroid gland, viscera is for the visceral organs. Now, if you take the different body parts, there are so many Greek and Latin origin medical terms that represent the parts of the human body. Examples, if you take as lipo or adipo, it is for fatty tissue or the fat deposited in the human body. Dactylo or the digits is for the fingers. Cephalo is again for head. Hepato is for liver. Epici or supine is for pubic region. Pneumono or pulmo is used for lungs. Myelo or medullo is used for bone marrow or marrow. Then the tracheal region or the cervical region represents the neck of the human body, and the nervous system is represented by nerve or neuro. The other terms that again represent the medical terminology is cerebellum for cerebello, cysto or urinary bladder, duodenum, duodeno, tongue is for Glasgow, larynx, laryngo, lymph or lymphatic, muscles represents musculo, nose is for naso. Again, the tissues are represented by the Greek word histo and histio. Kidneys are represented by the word nephro. Tumor is by onco. Bone again by osteo. The skull is for cranio. Adrenal gland by adreno. The joint is by arthro or articulo, and the head again is by cephalo. The same goes for other parts of the human body. The ovaries are represented with the Greek origin words like ophor or ovary from the Latin word. The pelvis is from pylvi or pile or pelvi. The skin again represents the derma or the cuticle. The tongues again gloss or glot or lingua. Toe, dactylo or digits like the fingers. Tumors again cell or onco or tumor. Urethra by urethra, urethra, urinary bladder. Now coming to the roots of the body parts and the substances, it is generally about the internal anatomy, external anatomy, and body fluids and substances. Now if you take different body parts and the components, you get a word root from there and where it is derived from. Majorly the medical terminology is derived from the Greek word or a Latin word. For example, the abdominal muscles are derived from the word abdomen, which represents or comes from the Greek word lapar or the Latin word abdomen. The artery or the aorta is derived from the Greek word iot. The branchi or the arm is representing the arm of the human body. It is derived from the Greek word branchi or the Latin word arm. The blood is derived from the Greek word hemat or heme or the Latin word sanguine or sanguine. Blood vessels again are derived from the Greek word angi and the Latin word vas or vascule. The bone is derived from the Greek word osti and the Latin word ossi. The brain again is derived from the Greek word encephal or the Latin word cerebra. You can see in the images that the muscles are representing the Greek word myo. The shoulders are derived from the scapule. Arm is derived from branchi. Wrist again represents the carpals or the bones in the wrist. The ribs are derived from the word costo. Back again represents or derived from the word dorsa. Foot is for pododontist or pedologist. So the foot word is derived from the Greek word pedo. Now coming to the other parts, the eye, the word is derived from oculo from the Greek word. The head is derived from cephalo. Heart again everybody knows that it is from cardio. Stomach is for gastro. Large intestine is from colo, and the liver is from hepato. Now we can discuss about the digestive organs. Again, liver, as we discussed, it is from hepato. Esophagus is from the word esophag. Stomach, gastro, gallbladder, cholecyst. Large intestine, colo. Small intestine, ileo. The next words are coming to the next words. derived from Greek and Latin. The stomach is derived from the word gastro. Intestine is derived from intestino. The muscles are derived from the word myo. Nerves are derived from the word neuro. Eyes from the Greek word occhio and Latin word ophthalmo. Ear from otto. Lungs from pulmo. Chest or thoracic region from thoraco. Thyroid glands from thyro, and the visceral internal organs from viscero. The other words that are derived from the head region is for the brain from the word encephalo. Skin is derived from the word derma or dermato. Cells are from cyto, which an example can be cytotoxic. Colo is for the colon. Cardio is for heart. Carcino is for cancer. Bronchi again is for bronchioles. Arterio is for artery. The other words which come into existence as we go down to the human body are for fingers, it is from the Greek word dactylo, Latin word digit. Head, it is cephalo from the Greek word, and capito from the Latin word. For the lip, it is chilo or labio. And then for the liver, it is hepato or jacor. The pubic region, it is epicio or pudent. Lungs, it is pneumono, pulmo or pulmo. Bone marrow, it is from myelo and medullo. The neck region again is from tecelo or cervico. As you can see, the head region, the eye, the ears, the nose, the eardrum have a different kind of a word what we speak normally, and they are derived from Greek and Latin words. The skull again is called as the cranium, and then other words related to cell structure or the minute structures, like for tissues of the body, it is derived from the word histio or histo. Kidneys, it is nephro. Tumor or mass, it is onco. Bone, it is osteo. Skull, again as I said about cranio. Adrenal gland, adreno. Joints, it is arthro or articulo. Head, cephalo. The next words are for ovary, that is derived from the Greek word ophoro or ovirio from the Latin word. Pelvic region is derived from the Greek word pylo or pelvi. Skin is derma or dermato or the Latin word cut or cuticulo. The tongue is derived from the Greek word gloss or glot or lingua. The toe is again dactylo from the Greek word and digit from the Latin word. The tumors are representing the Greek word cell or onco and the Latin word tumo. The veins are derived from the Greek word phlebo and the Latin word ven. The womb of a mother in a woman is derived from the Greek word hystero or metro and the Latin word utero. The wrist is again derived from the Greek word carpo and the Latin word. Now coming to the roots of the colors, how do you represent colors in medical terminology? It is describing the colors that can be pertaining to body systems and can also explain the conditions in many body systems. For example, black is derived from the Greek word melan and the Latin word arthre or nigre. Blue is derived from the Greek word cyan and the Latin root in English, that is the cerule. Gold is again by cris or aura. Gray is derived from the Greek word poly and can, and the Greek word for green is chloro and the Latin word vir. Purple is for porphyr and Latin word purpur or purpureo. Now, there are many colors that are represented in the medical terminology in the hospital industry. The color is derived from the word chromo or chromato. The pale color which you represent in the terminology is derived from the word albino. The green color is from chloro, blue is from cyan, red is from erythro, gray is from glauco, white is from leuco, black is from melano, gray is from polio, purple is from porphyr, rose red color is from rhodo, and yellow color is from xantho. Now, examples for these colors, medical terminologies are chlorophyll. Now, the chloro, that is the prefix, is pertaining to the color green. It is a green pigment that is produced by plants and other photosynthetic organs such as cyanobacteria. The other word is porphyropsin. The porphyr is the prefix for the color purple. It refers to any group of purple carotenoid pigments found in the fish retinas similar to rhodopsin. Now, cyano is a prefix for color blue. Cyanosis is a condition characterized by blue discoloration of the skin or mucous membranes caused by lack of oxygen. Melanoma is again the prefix for black. It is a dark pigmentation, usually malignant tumor that arises from a melanocyte. Jaundice again is a term that refers to yellowing of the skin, mucous membranes and the eyes. The prefix here jondo is derived from the Greek word. Cirrhosis again represents the yellow color of the liver, and it is a condition in which the liver becomes scarred and permanently damaged, manifested by a yellow discoloration of the skin and the eyes. Now, coming to the roots of description when you are talking about medical terminology. The root words which are used to describe the size and shape and the strength in the body. If something is bad or incorrect in the body, it is derived or described with the Greek word cac or dis and Latin word mal. If it is big, it is referred with the Greek word megal or mega and Latin word magni. If it is the biggest, it is called as megist or maxim. If it is broad and wide, it is called as uri or lati. If it is cold, it is called as cryo or frigi. If it is dead, it is called as necro or mort. Equal, it is called as iso or equi, and then false, it is called from the Greek word pseudo and the Latin word falsi. Now, examples for these roots of descriptions are microbiology, the scientific study of microorganisms that are small life forms, that is called as microbiology. Roots of description, the root words that are used to describe the size, shape and strength of the body parts are described with these kind of words from Greek and Latin origin. For example, if something is bad and incorrect in your body, it is described with the Latin and a Greek word that is cac, dis or mal. If it is big in size, it is represented with the Greek word mag or megalo, Latin word magni. If it is the biggest, it is represented with megist or maxim. If it is broad and wide, it is represented with the Greek word uri, Latin word lati. Cold, again it represents with cryo and frigi. If it is dead, it is represented with the Greek word necro and the Latin word mort. If it is equal, it is represented with the Greek word iso and the Latin word equi. If it is false, again it is represented with pseudo and falsi. Few examples of these kind of words are microbiology, which is the study of microorganisms, that means small forms, that is the prefix here represents micro, that is small. The next word is megalomania. It is an obsession with power and money and it is represented with the prefix megalo, that represents large. The next word is equilibration. The prefix here represents equal, and the next word is macrocyte. The prefix represents the large size of the cell. The next word is isometric. The prefix here iso represents equal again. The next words are, if something in your body is fast, it is represented by tachy or cerebro. If it is flat, it is by plati or plati. If it is good, it is used with u or beni or boni. If it is great, it is called as megal or mega. and magni. If it is huge, again megalo or magni. Long, it is called as macro or longi. Normal or correct, again ortho or recti. Old, it is called as paleo from the Greek word and Latin word veter. There are so many words that describe the body parts as sharp, short, small, smallest, or slow. The Greek words like oxy, brachy, brevi, micro, rare, minim, or brady or tardy represents these kind of words. If something thick in your body has to be represented, it is represented with the Greek word patchy or crassy. Now coming to the roots of positions. The roots of positions are terms that describe where a condition or a procedure takes place on a body. If it is around and surrounding the body, it is derived from the Greek words peri and the Latin word circum. If it is internal or within, it is derived from the Greek word endo and the Latin word intra. If it is on the left side of the body, it is represented with the Greek word levo, lev from the Latin word or senestre. If it is in the middle of the body, it is represented with the word meso, mes or Latin word medi. If it is from the right side of the body, it is represented with the Greek word dexi and the Latin word dextro. Few examples of the roots of the body, of the position. Circumgastric, again the prefix here, circum is for around and the surrounding region of the stomach. It is pertaining to the stomach as well. Then enteroseptal, it is referring to the area of the front of the septum, that is notably the intraventricular septum. The prefix entero represents the front part of the body. Then comes the dextrocardia. It is a congenital condition characterized by abnormal position of the heart on the right side of the chest. The dextro here represents the right side. Levoscoliosis, it represents a term where the type of scoliosis where the spine curves on the left side. The prefix levo means left. Mesoblast again is a term in an embryo that the mesoblast is the middle layer of the undifferentiated cells. It becomes mesoderm. The meso here represents the middle. The prefix intra and intro means inside and within. The word for this can be intramuscular. It is referring to the inside of the muscles. Thank you so much all of you. See you in the next unit. Thanks a lot. Acha, summary. All right. Okay. The prefix levo means left. The word for this is levoscoliosis. It is referring to the type of scoliosis where the spine curves to the left side of the human body. It is kind of a disorder found in some humans. The prefix meso here means middle. The word is mesoblast, wherein in an embryo the mesoblast is the middle layer of undifferentiated cells that becomes the mesoderm. The word intramuscular refers to the inside of the muscle. The prefixes intra and intro refers to the inside or within the muscle. Now, when we come to the conclusion of Unit 10, in this unit we have gone through the root words, the prefix, the root word, the combining vowels and the suffix. In here we have gone through the roots through body colors, bodily concepts, positions and other aspects related to the root words. How they are derived? They are derived from which particular origin, whether it's Greek or Latin. Thank you so much all of you for listening to me. Take care.